What's going on, friends and family? My name is Skylent, and today we're going to be talking about my pick for the top 10 best mobile music games. Now, this is a genre that's not too terribly popular in the West, and that's why a lot of these titles are definitely going to be very Eastern or completely wholly Japanese. So if you have a bias against this type of music, which absolutely is going to happen, everyone's picky, everyone has their own unique taste and everything, and especially a lot of people coming into this are kind of biased against mobile devices. They think it's not a very tactile interaction, but I promise you, with these rhythm games, you will have a unique physical experience that you just don't have anywhere else. I mean, do you remember the first time you ever picked up the guitar in Guitar Hero, or the drums in Rock Band, or maybe the mic in SingStar, I don't know, the Dance Mat in DDR, and there's so many rhythm games that have such a unique physical interaction. Then I promise you, with these mobile rhythm games, you will have a unique experience, especially going up the list. I think that's kind of how I ranked it, based on which ones are going to give you that just really weird feeling. It's not based on what songs I like the most, it's not based on the aesthetic. To me, it's all about the game feel. If you want something that will leave you with a lasting sensation, these are the jams you want to jam to. Alright, friends and family, let's start this off with Piano Tiles 2. Now, there's actually a lot of games similar to this, and it's just something that's easily replicatable, okay? Piano tiles, man, it's pretty simple, right? You just click on the piano tiles. The thing is, though, is you can't miss once. So that's actually what adds the layer of difficulty. Also, I'm a big fan of Boom Boom Rockets. I don't know if you ever played that at Xbox Live Arcade, but I'm a big fan of that game's Endless Mode, and Piano Tiles 2 has that too. So there's only 3 little slots that you can kind of clickety-clack from. Sometimes you might have to do 2 at the same time. Oh boy. Anyways, basically this game just gets really, really fast and really intense. And actually that's kind of a detriment to the game because it does actually play the notes as you click them. So when things happen like really, dramatically fast, sometimes the speakers begin to peak and crackle, and I don't know, it's kind of weird, but I found that kind of plagued every piano game I've played so far. But all in all, Piano Tiles 2 seems like the one to try out. I definitely suggest you do. I think it's one of those games that anybody could pick up, but at the same time, there is a reason why you might want to keep playing and aim for those leaderboards. And next up, we have another game that's very tried and true, and that's going to be Beat X. Basically, you got 4 arrows, 1 all the way to the left, 1 all the way to the right, and 2 in the middle, okay? So it's really easy to really focus and press these buttons to the rhythms. Okay, but the thing that makes this very special is that this is a tried and true sort of mechanic, right? And that also means it's very easy for people to create beat maps or these different levels, so you can actually download a whole lot of them for Beat X. Now, I suggest when you download this game, you try out the remix of the Breaking Bad theme, which is really hype, a very fun beat map. And overall, I just feel like this is something that anybody can really begin to jump into, and at the same time, of course, the veterans are going to enjoy the fact that it is very similar to a lot of older games, Dance Dance Revolution, Flash Revolution, stuff like that. They're going to have a blast regardless. Now, next up on the list, we have Groove Coaster 2. Now, I never played the original, but apparently that's pretty good too. Now, Groove Coaster 2, what makes it very unique is that it is a simple rhythm game, except you're not just tapping on the screen. You actually are going to have swipes, and then directional swipes, and then like 3D dimensional swipes with both thumbs, and then you also got all the different things that you would imagine in a tap style rhythm game. But also the screen is going to be moving in 3 dimensions, man. It's not just 2D, it's not just isometric, it's moving all over the place, and it really does feel like a roller coaster. That actually adds to the gameplay because you need to literally listen to the rhythm as you're reading the beat map and then play the game in that way. And there's even actually ad-lib sections where you can get bonus points, stuff like that. And I always love that in music games. So coming out next on our list is going to be a game in a very similar vein, and that's going to be Dancing Line. Really what makes it different, though, is you're not going to have the crazy plethora of taps, holds, swipes, and directional swipes as Groove Coaster, but your camera is going to change a lot, and the whole idea that you need to listen to the rhythm as you're reading it to play the game properly, yeah, that's going to follow through. Now, what makes Dancing Line a little bit unique is that instead of being literally on a coast, instead of being a completely linear game, you actually have a little bit of freedom. So you are a line, and you are in these constrained sort of environments and areas. However, to the rhythm, you can actually have a little bit of freedom. So there's constantly going to be a consistent amount of ad-libbing as you trying to survive, trying not to hit through these walls and crash into them. And at the same time, as long as you follow the rhythm, you're generally going to be fine. All you can do is jump left and right, but at the same time, it's such a basic and simple idea that just really works as a rhythm game. Alright guys, coming up next on our list, we have a game called Cytus. Now, this is going to be for fans of the game OS on PC, with your mouse and you have to click the balls and it's just all over the place. Oh, hell yes, dude. Cytus is absolutely the same. So you do actually have this rhythm bar that goes up and down to kind of help guide you, which is also very interesting. But all in all, I found that there are some other games out there, especially some new ones like Link On. But Sidus has a pretty nice library, it's got a pretty nice following, and overall, graphically, visually, it's just really easy to read and play. And this goes from, understandably, fun, interesting, intriguing for completely new players to holy crap insane for extremely hardcore veteran players of any rhythm game. Now remember, this is on mobile devices, so your hands are just gonna be flying all over the place, kung fu fighting basically. I have not played many more difficult games than Sidus because maybe I'm not a very experienced person at OS, so I think if you want OS on mobile devices, Sidus is the one to go to. Alright friends and family, moving up the list, we have a game called Demo. Now the company that made Demo actually made a lot on this list, and it's pretty good stuff. Now Demo, I think, is so high on the list because it's just really simple in a lot of ways. Now you're kind of supposed to play it like you just set your phone down or whatever, your tablet, and you kind of play it like a piano. It's a piano game, and it's got a lovely story interwoven with it, and it's just more of a sad and somber and poetic sort of experience where a lot of these games are, literally just like grooving, beating, and just booming and popping and, jamming, but Demo is a little bit more sincere, and I kind of appreciate that, and I wanted to show it off. So no, it's not as colorful, it's not as ridiculous, intense, in-your-face dubstep, but it's special, okay? And I think a lot more people would be able to play this game and be introduced to it, which is something that you need to look for in mobile devices. It is a little bit more casual to introduce yourself to it, but don't worry, guys, some of the tracks definitely get a little bit more intense later on with Demo. And number 3 is going to be a game called Dynamix. Now, this is the most recent game that I played, and I really want to play it more. I might actually move it up the list later, but I don't know, it's super duper neat. So at first it seems kind of similar to Demo. It seems like it's just a kind of piano clicking, typing sort of experience, but no, lo and behold, it's actually more of kind of like a DJ experience because you're moving all over the place. Now, as somebody that's messed around and dabbled in audio engineering, I kind of know the experience and what it's like, and this has me excited for maybe what the genre has in store for us later on in the future. But basically, you have your bottom part, which is where you're just typing for the piano keys, and then you have the left slider, which actually that controls the sliding mechanics, and then you have the hold mechanics and some other tap mechanics to the right side. So you're controlling 3 parts of the screen, man. It's pretty fantastic. And if you ever audio engineered, if you ever DJ'd, you kind of know what I'm talking about. It's like you're all over the place, and this game kind of begins to explore that concept. Now, coming in next on our list, we have a game called Lonoa. Number 2 here is a game that is one of the most unique music rhythm games I've ever seen, especially on mobile devices, and I think it works really appropriately. Now, very similar to Demo, it's going to be more sincere, it's got a story to it, and it's a little bit more of that, piano and somber sort of tone to it. It's very painterly with its graphics, and overall, like, when you actually play this game, the gameplay is not really going to express the feeling of actually playing this. I want to tell you, your hands are going to be moving all over the place. Now, you see that you're actually controlling, like, around a sphere. Some notes are going to carry you, like, 3/4 of the way around the sphere. So your hand, your thumb is going to be moving all over the place and kind of getting tangled and twisted and stuff like that. So yeah, no, it seems simple, right? But Lonoa actually has a really ridiculous and very unique game feel that you don't get in any of these other games. So yeah, absolutely appreciate it. It's a piano game that's played in a circle, actually, and it's freaking awesome. Alright, now I normally don't do this, but since you guys can't get enough of me, or maybe this music games, I guess let's do some honorable mentions. First one I want to talk about is called Epic Party Clicker. So it's a clicker game, and that definitely appeals to a lot of mobile players and just a lot of people out, and they're kind of notorious and uproarious, but this one is the most, okay? Epic Party Clicker is a rhythm-based click game, which makes sense. I can't believe this hasn't been done sooner, but yeah, you just click to the beat, so you get extra multipliers, and then you just kind of accrue, like, we'll literally crew in bands and, new stereos and stuff like that, and make your party as epic as possible. Woo! And lastly, I have Geometry Dash. Now, there's a lot of other games that are in the genre, like Impossible Game, also Give It Up 2 and Give It Up 1. There's Beat Racer. There's a number of these games that are really just like, they seem like platformers, or they seem like normal games, but they really actually are rhythm-based wholly. So even though they don't focus on like playing different soundtracks and they don't look like other rhythm games like Guitar Hero or some of the stuff on this other top 10 list, well, no, they are actually still based on rhythms and they should be mentioned. So there they are. I'm gonna, give a shout out to it. And I think it goes without saying that I haven't played every single game, and even some of the ones that I did play, they just didn't quite jive with me exactly, but maybe they did with you. So please give it a shout out in the comments below. Absolutely, that's what this is all about. It's a community effort. But now let's go on to my number 1. And finally, here we are at our number 1, and this is actually the game that has made the reason for making this list, and that's going to be Vaos. Now, Vaos is also on the Nintendo Switch, so thumbs up for that. But that's also another big reason why it's on this list. See, Vaos has an unprecedented amount of support and professionalism and tightness to its library. There's so much songs, there's so good songs, and it's not just my taste. I mean, the beat maps are just really fun, and overall, the product of Vaos is just well done, okay? And it has a lot of support, and so hopefully in the foreseeable future, we're gonna get a lot of new songs, and I think a lot of people who play rhythm games like to just kind of master one rhythm game and play a lot of different beat maps on these mechanics, on these engines, on these games. So Vaos is essentially your falling button, rhythm game, kind of piano type rhythm game. It's got your slides, your swipes, and stuff like that. But what makes Vaos kind of unique and a little bit different is, it's a trend actually we're seeing in rhythm games. Even on this top 10 list, the beat map actually changes. So as the notes are falling, they'll sometimes move positions based on the rhythm, based on the song. Sometimes they'll just completely teleport across the screen. In a lot of the cases, I think I would say that this is a total detriment. I hate when games, especially like OS, just kind of have the notes just randomly appear really, really fast and there's no readability. But with Vaos, I feel like it's done very tastefully. In fact, it's done in such a way to where when you're first time playing these beat maps, they're so interesting and fun and intriguing, especially because a lot of the times they'll literally with the rhythm, like if you do a swipe, then the screen will move slightly to the left or to the right, and all sorts of weird stuff happens. And overall, the first time experience playing Vaos is such an impactful and I would say like impassioned experience for me that I think even if you don't consistently play the game, that is just really, really fun. And I do want to reiterate that this first experience, the readability of the game is so fun and interesting, and because it has such a wealth of songs that even if you just play it for your first impressions, you're still going to get hours and hours and hours, and potentially infinite as long as they keep supporting the game, which it looks like that it's going to be the case. So yeah, that's my very specific reasons why I really enjoy Vaos. I like playing lots of different games for lots of different unique reasons, and Vaos gives me a unique reason to keep coming back over and over again. Alright guys, that's the end of the list. What I'm going to ask you to do now is, because it's a music-based list and you guys listen to the music, that means YouTube listened to the music, that means YouTube copyrighted the music automatically, which means I'm not going to make any money. So I would ask if you guys could go to the Patreon/donation page and maybe just kind of look at that and maybe eyeball that. I would really appreciate it. Anyways, that's how I can continue doing these cool lists and sharing these cool games and doing these reviews and diving into the nooks and niches of gaming and showing these weird cultural anomalies and bringing that to a wider audience. That's what I want to do. Games you've maybe never heard of, games you've never played that I did play, and I can tell you why you should play them. Kind of what it's all about. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you do have fun. My name's Skylint, and I'll see you in the next one.